Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And welcome into a Wednesday episode of YSN Live. And you know what Wednesdays bring. It is Wrestling Wednesdays with Gary Altizer, our wrestling guru, the head coach of the Wellsville Tigers. Gary, thanks for coming on, talking to us again for another week.
Glad to be here, Anthony. It's another week in the books and closer and closer to that postseason.
Postseason starts a week from this weekend. So when we say close, we mean really close. And don't forget that the state duels are still happening too, right? We have a couple of teams
they're done
competing
state
in that.
duels
So we have
good.
to recap. We have to recap that. We will recap the Buck Bailey that went down with Wellsville, and then we'll also, of course, have our special guest today, and we're going to have her right at the top of the show, so we're not going to let anyone wait for it. Gary, you coached some Tigers. Now we have another Tiger coming on from a different neck of the woods, a different jungle, per se, from Springfield, on the stage with one of the best backdrops in all of high school sports. It is, and I hope the lights didn't just turn off on her because she looks dark, Abby Miller in the dark.
Hi.
How are you doing,
Hi.
Abby, besides blind?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Thanks for coming on. We'll see if we can get the lights back on for you.
Oh, there you go.
When you talk about the way this season has gone and the way this start of the career has gone in high school, it's really a trajectory way up. Talk about what it's been like to have such a good start and then such a immediate impact on the wrestling world at your age.
The season's felt really good. At the beginning, I started a different weight class, which we wanted to test out. And I feel like since state's coming up, me and my coach figured out that we wanted to go lower, and I feel like that really helped me go back and forth to see how I do each weight class, and I feel like that's helped me a lot on my mentality, because I feel like if I can wrestle up and low, then I feel like I can wrestle anybody.
So, Abby, you're in a pretty unique situation. You wrestled for Poland last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this year you're at Springfield, but you get to still train with the same girls and you have the same coach. So why don't you talk to us about that, how the transition's been going, from Poland to Springfield to school, but you're representing your new school with your old teammates. How's that transition been, and what's it like every day for you?
The transition is pretty good. I feel like Poland was more active in wrestling as much as Springfield. So this is their first girls wrestling team. I feel like I'm trying to get more girls to go for Springfield so that we can have our own team. But also, I love how my coach has been switching back and forth, and he's been really supportive of what I need to do. And also, the athletic director for Springfield has been really supportive, and all the teachers have been checking in on me. And I just love how they know me as like the girl wrestler from Springfield, and so I love the Springfield community. It's really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, your coach moved heaven and earth to make sure that you would still have a home and you'd still be wrestling. And we know that he's kind of pulling double duties, coaching you, but still coaching the Poland girls as well. What's that been like having someone that is literally in your corner and will do anything to make sure that you're in the best possible position to succeed?
I love it. I love how my coach has been with me through all these years and is willing to do whatever it takes for him to coach me. And I love that support and knowing that he can be there if I need anything, whether it's like at a different tournament or if at a school, I can just text him and he'll like help me with whatever I need.
So you say your teachers and basically everybody knows you there as the girl that wrestles. So you're probably getting a lot of attention, a lot of newfound attention, a lot of questions, a lot of people being really curious. Is that the kind of reception you've gotten there in Springfield?
Yeah, my one teacher, he's been really supportive, like asking me how I've been doing at every tournament. And my parents have just been talking to every teacher. And now they like come up to me, which is like really helpful since like this is my first year at Springfield, and like not knowing as many people, them like coming up to me is like meant something because wrestling's something I love. And so having to talk with them about it really like boosts my confidence about wrestling.
Most athletes, when they have to switch schools, they have to lose the teammates that they were playing with, and they have to go to a new team with new teammates. But you're still wrestling with the same girls. You're still wrestling with the same Poland team. What's it like to not lose that connection and to be able to wrestle with the people that you kind of came up with and the people that I'm sure inspire you so much to do great things?
I'm glad that I still have to wrestle with my teammates. I feel like they're a lot in like who I am for when I wrestle, like, especially Ella Thomas. She's a second captain, and I love how she's like been with me. And I feel like if I wasn't on Poland, then I don't think I would like wrestle how I used to, because I feel like our whole team like makes one, and then like if there's like one person out, then it's just difficult. And so I love how they're like with me and like always checking on me, like how I'm doing at Springfield. And I'm glad that my team's still with me.
For anyone out there that's not familiar, in Ohio, if you have a small wrestling team, I believe it's less than 7, you are permitted to practice with another team. So that's why Abby gets to do that. And Coach Beatles stepped up to be the coach with her, and as well as staying with Poland. So hats off to him for all that hard work to make that happen for you and for his team. So I was looking at some of your results, and you started the year at 155, and man, you wrestled a real hammer schedule there at 155. I think you wrestled the number 1 and number 2 ranked girls in that weight class before you went down to 145. Did you see any kind of a difference in the weight classes, other than obviously size? But being up at the higher weights, they wrestle more upper body. Is it more, the close matches, kind of see the 3-2s? The heavier you get in the boys section, the closer the matches get, because it's just hard to score on people the heavier they are. Did you notice that when you went down to 145 that maybe, hey, I'm taking some of the strength with me down there?
Yeah, I did. I feel like me wrestling upper, like heavier weight classes helped me like perfect my moves more. So like my double, if it was hard at 145, I can hit on 155, then I can hit on any 145 girls. So I feel like my strength is like has come down with me, and it's like helped a lot.
You had a really good postseason run last year. What are some things you want to do to raise the bar a little bit this year and get even further and higher on that podium?
I feel like I need to be like more technical with my stuff. I wasn't really like as focused last year because I put everyone on a tier above me, and my coach Beetle, he really helped me with that, on like knowing that I'm up there with those girls, and that I feel like I'm gonna have more confidence going into everything this year, and so hopefully I'll get higher than what it was last year.
So every week we ask this question. After weigh-ins, you step off the scale, you're a 10th under, the pressure's off there. What is your go-to after weigh-ins meal? And then Coach Beetle said to specifically ask you what your post-match meal is. So it must be a good
After weigh-ins, my meal is I have a purple Powerade with the purple barbecue Pringles and and then I have pepperoni, and then like Chobani flips.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Anthony, new one there we're putting on the board.
Purple everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a purple pepperoni too. You know, what got you into the like that routine? Because that seems like it's kind of one of the things that like is routine into you. When did that start?
I started at the beginning of 8th grade. Me and my dad, we like went to the store, and that was like my main craving for what I wanted. And I was like superstitious about it. So like now that just like comes to me every single tournament, no matter what.
The real question is that was when you're, but where does purple rank on your color scale? Like, is purple high on your favorite colors, or is it just the good food?
No, it's just a good food. Flavor.
Mhm. Okay, so every great wrestler has a great drilling partner or partners. Now's your chance to give a shout out to your teammates, to your coaches. Who is it in the room that pushes you, and what do they bring to the table?
I feel like Ella Thomas pushes me the most, even though she's lower than me. Like she's at 100 and I'm 145. But my main trail partner is Muskan Gotra. She's 125, 130, and I feel like she pushes me because she's a lot with like upper body and stuff, and like wrestling those 155 girls. I feel like her helping me a lot has like put me to like where I am.
When you think about, you know, being able to, like you just said, wrestle with some of the best wrestlers in the area. I mean, Poland girls wrestling is on top of the world right now. How much does that push you to get better and push you to kind of stand out in that wrestling room?
It pushes me a lot because I feel like since I feel like I contributed a lot to, well, like somewhat to Poland wrestling last year, I want to have the same community as I did in Poland for Springfield. And so now I'm trying to get like a bunch of girls to do Springfield wrestling. I'm just trying to have the same community as I did in Poland because it's amazing. Like all the girls are happy. Everybody wants to join.
What's your sales pitch right now? What are some things you're trying to tell girls to convince them to come on and be a wrestler?
My main is like it keeps you in shape. It's so much fun. Everybody's just having a fun time. It's not that hard. The singlets are good looking. I feel like everybody's just having a good time when they're wrestling, so you should join.
What has the reception been at Springfield? Has it been curiosity, or has it been more, oh boy, that looks hard, I can't do that? How has the reception been?
It's mostly just like curiosity because like none of them have like done it before, and so I feel like me answering their questions has helped them a lot, like think about it. So
Okay.
I'm sure you get a lot of questions from that curiosity. What do you think is the biggest misconception about your sport that people from the outside have, that maybe they ask this or they ask like, what's this like? And you're like, that doesn't happen at all.
I feel like when I mostly have girls come up and talk to me, it's like their most concern is like they have to wrestle boys. And I always tell them like if you're not comfortable with it, you don't have to wrestle boys at all. And I feel like that like reassures them because I feel like wrestling guys would like, especially your first year, is like kind of scary. So I have to like reassure them like it's fine. Like if you talk to the coach, I'm pretty sure he'll be okay with you not wrestling boys at practice if you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the sport's grown leaps and bounds. While, Poland's got several good wrestlers, your schedule has been crazy good. Like I said, you've wrestled a ton of really, really good wrestlers. Have you seen in your time that every year things are kind of getting a little bit harder? There's more good female, like these brackets, maybe a couple years ago you were blowing through them, but now you've got to, now it's like, man, these guys are improving. I've got to really bring my A game for every match now. Yeah.
I noticed coming down, I feel like a bunch of girls are like moving up and down in weight classes, and so I have to like worry, well, not like worry, but I have to find like who's coming down to like figure like what they're doing, because I think Lillian Hendricks dropped down to 145, or she like bumped up, and so she's good. And so me and my coach are like talking about stuff to like help me improve my game if I have to wrestle her in the future.
I want to talk to you about role models in your life, people you look up to, people that you go to for advice. Who are those people for you in your circle?
My dad mostly. He helps me a lot with like my mental mind during wrestling, and then also Lexi Beetle, which is my coach's daughter. She's helped me a lot. I used to get overwhelmed during my matches or like during practice, and she would just like help me a lot. And I feel like she's affected like how I handle matches afterwards.
All right, last question from me. State qualifier last year, state placer last year. I'm sure that your goal is to be at the top of the podium. But other than that, what is the experience like being at the state tournament, getting to stand on the podium to know that you're one of the top wrestlers in the state?
It feels really good knowing that I'm up there, knowing that beforehand I used to like put girls on a tier of where I was, and knowing that like I'm up there makes me feel proud of myself and like how hard I worked to accomplish that goal. I feel like that's really helped me a lot.
Is it giving you did it give you another level of confidence for this season? Did you come into this season much more, confident in what you can do because of that experience?
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed in myself last year because I wasn't where I wanted to be. So knowing that I'm like able to get up there and knowing that the mistakes I made at state, I can use that to help me get higher.
We always end these interviews with the chance for the athlete to take the limelight off themselves a little bit and shine the light on people in their lives that mean the most to them. So I want to give you as much time as you want to kind of give out thank you, shout outs to the people that you think really deserve it.
I want to say thank you to my coaches, every single one of them. They've helped me a lot this season, especially the girls on my team. One, Ella Thomas, obviously, and then Gina Brody. They've really helped me. And then mostly my family. I love how they've supported me through everything.
Abby Miller from Springfield, we want to thank you so much for coming on today, talking to us. We love what you've been doing. We love that you've been able to be one of the best wrestlers in the state representing Springfield and YSN. We are so proud of you. We can't wait to see what you do in the tournament. Good luck, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Abby.
All right, Abby Miller from Springfield. Fourth in the state last year and felt like she didn't get where she wanted to go. I mean, like a lot of wrestlers would love to finish fourth.
Oh, yeah.
She's got bigger goals.
Not only that, she said she was putting girls on a tier above her, and here she is. She's in the top tier.
Right.
So, I'm sure that confidence is really bled over to this year, and she's doing great. She's only got a couple losses, and they are two of the best wrestlers in the next weight class up. So, really excited to see how she can do here in the postseason at 145.
I know technically they're not on the same team anymore, but but Ella Thomas and Abby Miller might be the best 1-2 punch. I know East Liverpool's got a couple of them. I think we have two programs in the girls' side that have fantastic 1-2 punches. East Liverpool and Poland. I mean, those are two girls in Ella Thomas and Abby Miller that can legitimately go into Columbus this year and say we have a shot at getting top of the podium and win state.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. I think that they are both, that Abby and Elle are both ranked in the top 3. Mm-hmm. And I know, you get to Columbus and you've been there a couple times, you've been on the podium, it starts to become, okay, instead of being nervous, now I'm confident. Now I know what I need to do, and I know that I belong there. So it could happen for sure. One
of the things that I like to always tell myself when we're talking about these kind of athletes is this: kind of pinch yourself a little bit, because nothing is guaranteed and you can't take greatness for granted. And we're able to talk to these wrestlers that are finishing fourth in the state. I'm sure we'll have Ella on at some point. We have her on every year. We'll probably save that for the tournament time. But it's almost like you expect it, and it's like it's not guaranteed. You can't take greatness for granted. So we're gonna enjoy the great athletes while we can. That's just how we're gonna attack this. Gary, let's recap what went down over the weekend. We'll start with the duels, the state duels. We had a couple of teams competing in that. How'd that go for us, Gary?
Kenfield boys finished in 8th, and the Fitch girls finished in 8th place in the state duels. For the girls, I think Olentangy Orange won the state tournament. They're the top tier girls team in the state. They are a juggernaut, so there's no surprise there. With the boys, I think it was Columbus Watterson won that in a tight one in that Division II there. And in Division III, Waynedale won also in a really tight match there. But the interesting thing is in the state dual tournament, you can elect to bump up divisions. And St. Paris Graham, who was actually a Division III team, which is the smallest division, they bumped up to Division One to wrestle in the dual meet, and they came close to winning it all. I think they lost in the semis by a point or two. So just an aside here. It's not why it's in school, but the sport's got a lot of different kind of rules and a lot of different ways that they do things. Just like with how Abby and her going to Springfield, having a small team lets her practice at Poland. Here in this, in wrestling, in the dual meet championships, if you feel like you got a team that can bump up to a higher division, you're welcome to do so, and that's what St. Paris Graham did. But that St. Paris Graham program is a top program in the country, so it's kind of no surprise there.
Gary, one of the things that we also have to recap, of course, is your big weekend. We've been talking about it all season, the Buck Bailey that went down on Valentine's Day. It went off with flying colors. I think you guys hit another home run out of the park. Talk about how well it went and what were some of the biggest takeaways from the Buck Bailey.
First off, we've had great turnout. The amount of teams that want to get in the tournament, it just keeps growing, and I keep getting, every year, these last couple of years, I've had team after team after team wanting to get in, and I had to cut off, after a certain point, like, hey, I'm sorry, we're full. We'll get you in if somebody cancels. We had 22 teams and 220 wrestlers, and nearly every single one of those wrestlers came and made weight. We only had a couple of scratches, which really is crazy. The brackets were, 16-man brackets. We had a bunch of them that were completely full 16-man brackets, and there was a ton of great wrestling. We had number 1 ranked wrestlers, number 2 ranked wrestlers in the state in their weight classes in their division that were there wrestling. There were a lot of just quality matches out there, and if you were there and you were wrestling, chances are you got to wrestle at least one quality kid, if not 3 or 4 of them. Beaver Local won the tournament. They had 7 champions. They had a really, really great tournament. Bobby Buhite at 150 pounds, he was our MVP. He looked really, really good. I think that he's really getting ready for that postseason run. Minerva came in second place. Indian Valley came in third. And there was a lot of local teams represented. Columbiana had a really good tournament. I thought Columbiana, I think that they're really coming around as a program. Coach Davis there, he's got things rolling. They've got a couple of kids who are really starting to come into their own in the upper weights that are looking tough and peaking at the right time. So I'll be interested to see what Columbiana does in the sectional and district tournament, just as one of the D3 teams that were there. We had teams as far away as Magnolia, West Virginia, which I think is about a 2-hour drive south of us, that came up to wrestle. One of their wrestlers got the fastest pin of the day. It was a 9-second pin. We had a lot of people who volunteered. Couldn't have done it without the people who stepped up to do it. We had one of our old basketball coaches came in to do the announcing for wrestling, John Stokes. He stepped up because our 2 announcers that we usually have do it were both busy that day. So we had a ton of food in that coach's room. Anybody who left who was in the coach's room and you left hungry, then that's your fault, because the amount of food that we had in that room donated from the community was outstanding. We had everything you can imagine: fried chicken, JoJo's. We had literally, I could probably sit here and name for about 20 minutes the kind of food that we had in their homemade sub sandwiches. Subway actually donated food. There were probably 4 or 5 crock pots full of, meatballs and pasta and everything imaginable was in there. And people, they just kept stepping up and just kept bringing food in. I had all of my junior high wrestlers were there volunteering. I had a bunch of alumni who came in to run the tables. So it just turned out to be a really, really great day. The concession stand, the boosters did well. We had hundreds and hundreds of people that paid to get in to watch. So I couldn't be happier with the way that it turned out, with the competition we had, and really with the response that we had in the Wellsville community.
All right, Gary, I don't know how much you got able to watch what was going down. Like, I'm sure you had a lot to do yourself. Was there one match you were able to watch that was like a really good one that may be the highlight of the weekend?
So I didn't, outside of my kids, I didn't get to watch a ton. I know Bobby Buhite and a wrestler from Minerva, last name of Civi, both ranked in the top 10 in the state. That was the finals match. I peeked my head in a couple times, and it was close for the first 2 periods, but then Buhite pulled away there at the end. That is the one that stood out to me. But there were a lot of really good matches. There were, a shout out to Bob Vaya at Letonia. His heavyweight made it to the finals there. For a small school like Letonia, he's only got a handful of kids. He does the best that he can with them. He having a kid get in the finals, and I'm telling you, this isn't the Buck Bailey that it was 10 or 15 years ago. This is a lot different tournament. So I congratulations to him on a job well done.
Sounds like Latonia might be up for a big dog this week. Maybe a little bit of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We might have to, stop and see. Big dog's coming out probably tomorrow or maybe tonight, depending on when we're able to get to that. But stay tuned. You might get a Latonia Bear on the big dogs list. Gary, we have a couple of things to kind of preview. A couple of things that are wrapping up this week. Wrestling on the network tonight. Chris Colucci and Caden Welker is going to be in South Range for senior night as they're welcoming in Southeast and Liberty. That's going to be a good try. Those are three really good programs.
Yeah, Southeast and South Range. That will be a really fun one to watch there.
Also going on tonight, Fitch is going to travel to Beaver Local. Fitch does in the state duels. Beaver Local just won the Buck Bailey. You can't ask for much more than that. That's going to be a fun one too. Edgewood and Pymatuning Valley are going to be at Grand Valley tonight on the boys' side. Girls wrestling tonight, it is senior night in East Palestine if they welcome in Columbiana and Mineral Ridge. So that's what's going on tonight. Over the weekend, we also have some wrestling on the network that is going to go hand in hand with our tournament basketball on Saturday. Chris Colucci going to be at Western Reserve as the MVAC championship comes to Western Reserve's gym. So he'll be there for that one. So even though we're gearing up for postseason, wrestling still on the network this week. Like we said, great matchup in South Range for senior night. Liberty and Southeast both come into town. We've talked to Southeast, and I know Chris has talked to a couple of South Range kids. We have interviews on 2 out of 3 of those programs. Gary, that's going to be a fun night tonight for Caden Welker on the call.
Yeah, real fun night. There'll be some really good matches there. I'll be interested to see how that one turns out. We know that both of those programs there are pretty strong, top to bottom, and Liberty's always tough. So that will be a fun one. And Chris going to the MVAC, this is it. This is that week where you get in your dual meet requirements for your league, and then you get your league championship in either last Saturday or this Saturday, and then that's it. I don't know anybody that has anything the week of sectionals.
Then next week it is sectional time, and we'll know where everyone's going. We'll kind of preview sectionals next week, talk about what went on this week. Of course, we'll recap what we get the results from. And of course, as always, we'll try to get a very special guest next week as well. So stay tuned. Gary, thanks for coming on. I know you got to get out of here at 12:30. You got other responsibilities because you're like the president of Wellsville right now, El Presidente. And we salute you, sir. So keep doing your thing. We thank you for coming on every week, and we'll see you again next week as we get ready for postseason.
Thanks, Dan.
Gary Altizer, the guru, the head honcho of our wrestling department, and the guy that makes it go 5 years running for Wrestling Wednesday, and it gets better every year. We had basketball last night, a lot of important stuff going down, some conference alignment on the line, I should say. We had some tournament games last night. We're going to play a couple of highlights that we have on our YouTube page. We'll start with a big one in Austintown. Fitch, AAC on the line, Ty Bartell on the call. Let's see how this game went.
Live from Austintown Fitch High School, and feels like it's a big game energy because it is. Ty Bartell, Ali Kanegi, as the Austintown Fitch Falcons hosting the Canfield Cardinals for a share of the All-American Conference Championship on the line. Canfield.
Another thing that tonight is that important for both teams is going to be defense. Like you said, 48-44, first time, kind of a lower scoring game, especially for these high-octane offensive teams, as Giles wants the three from the top, and he hits!
He absolutely does. Giles is that type of spark plug player. Canfield still looking for their first points of the game. Shot from distance, Bryce Roberts gives it to him. He's the type of guy that can become a spark plug in his own right. You don't want him getting going early as he finds his first shot from distance. Entering the lane, getting one in the air, kick to the top, three-pointer down by Jace Ricardo. Canfield up 9-7.
You can't let Ricardo get to his bread and butter there. That transition three, that's just too easy for him.
And again, has to just lob a pass to Giles. Hand off Higgs. Canfield, great defense. Ricardo pokes it away, has a lane, detonates. Falcons to Higgs. Now to Giles. Giles downtown, tries it and banks it home. It might be 8 o'clock, but the banks are open in Austintown tonight.
They'll give the friendly bank to E.J. Giles.
Quarter. Cardinals take a sigh of relief as he misses, turn it into a transition two. Exquisite ball movement coast to coast.
And that's when they're the most dangerous in transition right there. Great extra pass, great finish by Landon China.
Vince tried it, it's short. Wow, rebound ends up with Ricardo. Found a pass option out to Gabriel, and he'll hit it.
Taking advantage of the offensive rebound. We're under a minute now.
Hand off Higgs. Higgs to Evans, 45 seconds first half. Evans looks to attack, hands off Giles, thought about pulling it, finds Evans, Evans has it, Evans does have it!
What an answer!
Ali getting the pass over at the wing. Find Brady Evans, defense there, 15-foot jumper, finds the mark, tough take. Out of the mid-range, but pulling up and putting it down, Evans.
That one was smooth for Brady Evans. We'll see.
Nice ball movement, beautiful pass to Gabriel.
That's a great set going the curl cut off the double screen. That's a no-brainer there for Gabriel.
Attacks, jump stop, hits to Salih. Cardinals want to travel. Giles wants the three, left it short, followed his shot. That's why you do it.
Excellent follow there by E.J. Giles. Neither one of these teams ready to go away yet.
Little short, tip rebound, game of inches, comes up with it Salih and over to Higgs. Falcons get possession. A hustle possession at that. Salih sees a lane, tries to take it, gets the make, +1. Cardinals tried to draw the charge. Top of the key three, Chase Ricardo.
None other.
On time and on target, just when you needed it. Ali can't field the offensive board. Furco, swing it to the top. Gabriel, find the open shot. Wing three, up and down. Bryce Roberts.
Excellent extra pass there to find the open man. And Canfield's feeling it now.
Now the Falcons need defense, down by 2. Furco getting the space, getting the step, sneaking it by. Salih blanketed all over him, but it did not matter. Brady Evans lost some space, created his own though, and finishes.
What a play by Evans.
A shot of any type here can do a lot for Canfield on the road, trying to claim this victory. Roberts guarded here by Evans. Roberts takes it on Evans and makes it. Big buckets down the stretch for the senior.
Again, just kind of toying with Evans, doing whatever he wants. He knows he has the quickness advantage as Giles fires. And he hits!
E.J. Giles, right when you need him to most. He's got that ice running through his veins.
Huge inbound here from the baseline.
Pass goes up and in, Bryce Roberts. The bucket, the 5-point lead already in this situation, puts up another. Left that one wide left. Cardinals get the rebound. Ball is loose and the Cards claim sole possession of the All-American Conference crown following a 52-48 gritty road win against the Austintown Fitch Falcons. Following a big win for Canfield, outright All-American Conference champions, a little bit of gold you guys can take into tournament time. Talk to me about just the environment and how much this kind of game meant, how much kind of mental toughness you guys needed to pull it out.
Well, it felt like a tournament game, and to win the league outright in a tournament prep type of game, I think sometimes that time period between the tournament draw and the actual tournament can be a little bit of a lull because even though you might play a good team, it feels like you're not playing for much. Kind of that purgatory period. Well, tonight we're playing for a league title, so our practices have had to be crisp. we had to be locked and loaded tonight because you're not beating Fitch if you're not coming to compete. So, good night for the Cards to get a tournament prep and a league title outright.
Talk to me about Bryce Roberts' performance. I felt like it was a sleeping kind of giant the first half, and then he woke up in that second half, gave you guys all the offense you could ask for. What about his clutchness?
So just the way our year's kind of gone, Bryce has been like an absolute rock. Like sometimes, I told somebody the other day that if I had to take all the guys averaging about 8 points a game in the state of Ohio, I would take him over everybody. And his scoring's been a little down. It hasn't been his fault. It hasn't been by design. It's just kind of the way the year's gone. The kid never stops rebounding. The kid never stops guarding. The kid never stops defending. He never stops doing all the little things that it takes for us to win. And I was just happy for him tonight because he's going to get a little bit of, the media attention that he deserves, and he had a big game. And but he's been our rock all year. I mean, I can't even tell you how good he's been. His assist-to-turnover ratio is like 2.5 to 1. Rarely messes up a defensive assignment, and his scoring wasn't as it was a little down this year. And he never pouted about it. He never whined about it. He just kept on playing. So when a kid like that goes for a night like this, I think it's fitting.
I don't think the lead, or if it did, it rarely went to 3 possessions at all tonight. What was that doing for you over there on the sideline? How were you able to balance out the emotions and keep your guys kind of emotionally even?
No, it's year 17 and 16 as a head coach, so I don't think in year 1 I was doing a good job of that, but by year 16 I think you kind of figure it out a little bit. And this time of the year, even if you lose that game, you're not beating your guys up. You got a tournament run to make, and you live and you learn if you lose, and you enjoy it, but you also learn if you win. But it's an easy group to coach too, so I'm really proud of them. They were really tough tonight. We weren't always good, but we were always tough, and given the 2, I'll take the tough.
Coach, congratulations on the conference championship. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Player of the game, 19 points and a big win against Austintown Fitch. Man, you came up huge down the stretch. It really felt like your offense came alive in the fourth. Talk to me what it kind of took from you guys, both mentally and emotionally, to kind of get this win tonight.
Yeah, well, coming into the game, we knew we had to win the conference outright. We know Fitch is a great opponent, and they're going to play us tough every game. So we knew if we locked down defensively, and I feel like we improved on that in the second half, and if we execute on offense, we knew we'd get the win.
They were playing with the lead most of that second half, most of that fourth quarter, until your offense started coming alive too. What were you kind of telling yourself to get that offense rolling and get your team back into that game?
I was definitely just telling myself to just continue to be a team player, trust my teammates, because I know that in other games, we could have Jay, Shina, or Joe step up and give us 20 any given night. And, it was my night to step up, and I feel like I trusted my teammates, and I made some shots.
Talk to me about just how other guys were able to get involved, too. I mean, you had a lot of balance scoring other guys in 10-plus points, too. How much does that kind of help and balance out the team?
It helps a ton because we knew we can't just have one person score to win. And, when we have multiple people on our team that can score, we know we're going to be in a good spot, and that definitely helped us tonight.
Bryce, the crowd was amazing tonight. Both ends. The student section was loud. They were proud. How much does that kind of energize you and get you ready for this upcoming tournament now?
Yeah, it definitely helps a ton because, our fans, they always come and travel and bring a crazy student section, and we have a great community support. So, that definitely helped us bring the energy tonight and come out with the win.
Canfield gets the 52-48 win over Fitch. Bryce Roberts, who you just heard from in the postgame with Ty Bartell, had 20 points. A lot of those coming in the second half. In that highlight, you could just see him start to heat up when that quarter went to the third. They needed every bit of it. E.J. Giles played so well for Fitch. They really gave it their all, and they tried to win a conference championship. But Battle of the Birds tips to Canfield, and they win the AAC outright. 52-48 was the final there. Let's go to the rest of the scores in boys basketball last night. WPIAL quarterfinal, round of 16. Mohawk, no problems with the 16th seeded Waynesburg Central. They win 74-49, the final score there. We go on to more scores. Lordstown gets the win over the Academy of Urban Scholars, 58-35. You go into Boardman-Girard, and Boardman goes into Girard, gets the 5-point win, 44-39, the final score there. Cheney on the road going to Massillon-Jackson, and the Cowboys take their win and go into the sunset, 68-50 over the Polar Bears. We have Conneaut traveling to Berkshire. The Badgers beat the Spartans 56-21. I saw the logo and I misspoke. Boardman went to green and won by 5. I saw the power G and just assumed Girard. My bad. Girard went to Salem, and actually they fell to Salem 66-57, the final score there. So the Quakers get a big non-conference win as we gear towards postseason on the boys' side. Overtime in Perry, and the Pirates are able to pull off a win 68-65 over Jefferson. Perry has won 9 of their last 10 after starting the season 3-8, so they're going to be someone to contend with come postseason. They're going to be one of those teams very dangerous because their record's going to put them in the middle of the pack with those max prep seedings. The coaches have no control over, this team. It might be better than a record. We'll vote them higher. It's you are what your record says you are in the max prep seedings. So Perry is going to be one of those teams in the middle of the pack that can surprise some people because they're hot right now, winning 9 of their last 10, and that only one loss coming to Madison, who's a pretty dang good team in their own right. Talking about Madison, they got the win over Lakeside last night, 58-57, a tough one for the Blue Streaks, but they pulled it out over the Dragons. Badger ties up the NAC. There's a 3-way tie right now in the NAC. The Badger and Bristol still have one more game to play. Maplewood is done. Maplewood has secured at least a share of the NAC championship. They're hoping that Bristol and Badger both lose their next games to get it outright. Badger and Bristol both have to win. If they do, then there'd be a 3-way tie at the top of the NAC Stripes division. Badger gets the win over Bristol, 52-46 on, I believe, senior night for the Braves. We go to Matthews, where Brookfield came to town, got the win over the Mustangs, 56-49, the final score in that one. Valley Christian hosting Mooney. Mooney gets a win in a defensive bout, 41-31. Glen Oak goes to Louisville and gets the 2-point victory narrowly over the Leopards, 55-53 at the final score. Newton Falls travels to Middle Ridge, a battle of the orange and black, and the Tigers are the one that are a little bit too much, 63-58 the final score. We talked about Maplewood getting the NAC championship. They did that with a win over Shockers, 78-50. Rockets get the dub on the road. Lakeview goes to Campbell, and the Red Devils protect home court, 65-51 the final score in that one. Crestview hosting Jackson Milton gets the big win, 51-33 at the final. And the one that we were talked about a lot yesterday, it came down to a battle in Hubbard for the NE8, and the Poland Bulldogs get the win in overtime, 47-45, to keep a hold on that NE8 championship. Braden Songer did get his milestone, 1,000 career points, and also broke that 3-point record for threes in a career for Hubbard. So Braden Songer has a big night. Poland gets the win, 47-45 in overtime, a big one for the Bulldogs. Pymatuning Valley gets the win over Cardinal on the road, 65-31, the final score there. St. John travels to Grand Valley, and the Mustangs are the ones that come out on top, 63-48. Ursuline gets the win, gets the loss, I should say, 49-61 to St. V's, but Jalen Gunther does break the record for single season points. He broke the record last week for the career scoring record at Ursuline. This year, he breaks it for the single season points at Ursuline with a free throw there. He finished with 12 as the St. V's Irish, a little bit too much for Ursuline in Youngstown. We just talked about Canfield getting the win, securing the AAC championship, 52-48. Warren Harding goes to Warren JFK and wins 68-31. South Range goes on the road at Beaver Local, gets the win 65-50, the final score there for the Raiders. And Springfield goes to McDonald, and McDonald has a big offensive night, 74-51, the final score. Drew Zajac gets his milestone, 1,000 career points for the senior, the second McDonald Blue Devil to get that milestone this year on the boys' side. Ravenna goes to Garrettsville Garfield and gets the narrow win, 56-50, a tough 2 days for Garfield, losing by 2 to Brookfield on Monday and then falling by 6 to Ravenna on Tuesday. So they're trying to regather. They have one more home game on Friday against Southeast, where they can spoil the Pirates' party a little bit. If they're able to pull off a win, they would be knocked out of a share of the MVAC, and it would be a 3, possibly 2-way tie, depending on what Newton Falls does tomorrow at Champion. If Newton Falls wins, of course, they earn their own share. Southeast has to win on Friday to get their share of the MVAC. So Garfield can play spoiler on Friday at home against the Southeast Pirates. I had some hockey scores come in last night. 10-3, Orange gets the win over Nordonia, and Beaver and Richland Senior we did not get a score for that one, but they did play. Now we go into girls basketball. The sectional semifinals went down last night in girls basketball. We had 2 tournament games go down. Trying to navigate the scoreboard. Got to click on it for it to scroll. There we go. 2 tournament games and a couple of regular season games for girls basketball. We'll start with the regular season. Badger gets the win over Bristol on the girls' side to sweep the doubleheader for the Braves, 38-33. The Braves get the win over the Panthers. Struthers in Lowville. Struthers gets to win 55-42 over the Rockets. And then also in regular season play, Howland gets to win over Kinston, 50-42, the final score there. Tournament play, Newton Falls opens up their tournament with a win over St. John at home, 36-15, the final score there. And then East Palestine gets the comeback victory over Valley Christian to advance 45-41. When I say comeback, I mean comeback. This game was unreal. We have the highlight for it, and we're going to play it. DJ Oakley on the call in East Palestine.
And ladies and gentlemen, inside the friendly confines of East Palestine High School, DJ Oakley with you. So excited. It is playoff time in Ohio, and it all starts right here in East Palestine, Ohio, where the Valley Christian Lady Eagles will make their way into the Dog Pound to take on the East Palestine Bulldogs. Now, right now, good quarterback back in his day, if I remember correctly as well. There's a deep 3. That shot up and good. And just like that, we are knotted up at 3 apiece. Try to slow things down yet again. Underwood's going to be the key. There she is again. Underwood 3. She hits another one. Underwood with back-to-back long-distance calls. 11-0 run right now. First point's not coming before the 5-minute mark. Another 3. And I'll tell you what, the shooter's touch is all with Aaliyah Underwood right now. Contested won't go. Back the other way. We've got a track meet. Underwood to the rack, and it goes. 18-7 as a team. The struggle that Rick Gates has endured. And a big 3 there. No struggling from Ogle as she's now got 7 and connects from beyond the arc. 1:40 to go here in the first half. Destiny moves it out. Kreidler inside, clears it. Outside, Cammie looking from deep, and she gets it into the corner. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson trapped. She gets it back to Burdick. Rolls around the 3-point marker, inside pass, it's good! Violet Glavin is on the board, and a timeout taken by Valley Christian. The take and the make. Big bucket for Graham, who has come out red hot here in the second half. She's got 4 on the night, looking for her 5th point. Coach Gates trying to keep a handle on this. You don't want to let it get too far away. Another turnover. Back comes Valley, the other direction. Barnett looking to go to the rack. Shot is up. It goes. 34-21. Jackie dribbling around. Picks up her dribble. Moves it to the right side. Now to Wilson. Wilson. Stymied. Bulldogs work it back out. Looking for the attack. It's Ogle again. And back out to Burdick. She's going to slow it down. Jab step. Reassesses. Shot is up and it goes. Violet Glavin. Bulldogs within 1 bucket. Valley in dangerous territory right now. Inbound. Burdick got it to go. The bucket and the foul. Destiny Burdick off the inbound pass. The Bulldogs are a free throw away from taking the lead. Controlled by Graham. Back out. Taken away. EP. Ogle won't go. Burdick controlling the post. Is it Destiny? I don't know, but it's sure. Kreidler. Down low, Glavin. Open jumper, she gets it to go. Brown, white, with a shade of violet. Shot up. Won't go. Touched. Ball game. What a comeback victory for the East Palestine girls program.
East Palestine getting the win over Valley Christian in a comeback fashion, 45-41. Big night for Jacqueline Ogle, who finished with 17 points, 8 points apiece from Destiny Burdick and Amara Wilson. Aaliyah Underwood, great effort on her side for Valley Christian. She had a game-high 21, but that balance for East Palestine was enough to come back. You had Ogle with 17, but you had Destiny and Amara Wilson with 8 each. Gamey Kreidler had 6, so that balance for the Palestine Bulldogs, able to get them to the sectional finals and tournament win. So congratulations to both our YSN teams that won the sectional semifinal, advanced in the tournament, Newton Falls and Valley Christian. They both beat YSN teams, so we have to say, good season to St. John and Valley Christian. I know especially Valley Christian made a lot of strides this year under the new head coach, Coach Ostelosh. So things are looking up for Valley Christian, St. John as well. So congratulations to both of them on a hard-fought season, and we will see them next year. That's the bittersweet thing about tournament time, right? You're saying hello to some greatness, but you also have to say goodbye to some great seasons and players that we've enjoyed covering over the last couple months. So to the ones that lost, great season. The ones that won, congratulations. We'll see you in the next round. That does it for kind of our recap of last night. Let's see what's going down on the network tonight on a Wednesday. We'll head to our games at a glance spreadsheet and see that we got some games on tonight. Wrestling is first off and foremost. 6 p.m. South Range Senior Night. They welcome in Liberty and Southeast. Caden Welker will be on the call there. Then we have boys basketball on the network. St. John hosting Berkshire. Sam Torres on the call. Columbiana at Southern. It's going to be a big one. Don Pearson will be on the call there. Austintown Fitch at West Branch. The West Branch School will have that one for you. Kirtland at Cardinal Mooney. It's Steve Hodge in Youngstown for the Hornets coming to town. Lisbon trying to win the EOAC and share it. DJ Oakley will be on the call in East Palestine for that one. Western Reserve going to Southeast. Ty Bartel on the call there. Those are the 6 games that are at least at YSN venues that are happening tonight. They're all 6 covered. You can find them all at ysnlive.com/live. I want to thank someone so much for tuning in today, but before we get out of here, we cannot forget the most anticipated part of the show, probably. The sponsored What's Your Spark by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical. You can find them at DickeyElectric.com. My spark today is going to go out to the NCAA, actually. For me, guy, this is something I haven't been, paying too much attention to college basketball this year. Unfortunately, just been a little bit wrapped up on YSN stuff. Haven't been able to pay attention on the big picture things. Apparently, Alabama for like the first couple months of the season was playing with someone that was like in the G League and then came back to school because they still technically had eligibility. It was apparently it was a big controversy because you give up your amateur status, you go into the G League, probably shouldn't be able to come back and play. But this week, the NCAA selection committee came out and said that Alabama, who that player is no longer playing, they've deemed him ineligible, so he will not be available for the tournament. So the selection committee came out and said Alabama will be judged by their current roster. So kind of the wins they had with that player are kind of null and void. Not completely null and void. I'm sure they'll still be taken in consideration because he's not scoring 90 points for him. But I think that those wins are going to have a little bit less impact than the ones they have down the stretch in the SEC tournament and all those things. So bravo for making that decision because obviously it's going to hear a lot of outcry from half of the people in the country that think that it's right that Alabama was able to bring back someone from the G League. But, they did it. They just put their foot down, which is something the NCAA is not really known for doing. But they said, you know what? One, you can't play. You are not eligible. You gave up your amateur status. But two, the selection committee comes out and says, we're not gonna give you credit, or we're not gonna judge you based on the wins you had with an ineligible player. He won't be playing in the tournament, so we're going to judge you with your current roster and the wins that you get now a lot more than we will with the wins that you got before your roster was where it is now. I think that's really bravo by the selection committee. And then I also want to point out the press conference that I saw from Alabama's head coach, where he said that he alluded that college basketball was better for development than the NBA G League. And I'm sitting there like, well, you get more resources in the NBA G League. Like the only argument he had that I think was actually like legitimate was that they're making more money. Like you can go now in the NIL in college and make more money than a G League NBA basketball player, probably pretty easily. So that is firm. But like he was trying to make the argument that colleges, have like your own personal nutritionist, which is probably true, but you also get that in the pros and things. So it was funny watching him flail a little bit and trying to kind of back up why he made what he made. Like, just come out and say you wanted to win and you did what it took to win. Like, hey, you saw a little loophole, you thought you could sneak it through. The NCAA eventually caught on and said, you know what, that's not going to fly. I mean, you didn't cheat. It wasn't like a necessarily a hard written rule, but you tried to kind of find some wiggle room there to get an extra player that you knew was very high level, and didn't work. Just come out and be transparent, man. Don't have to flop around the press conference and try to, you wanted to win. You took a really good player that was sitting there. You knew he could come out and play for your team, and you took it. You took an avenue to win. That's all it was. All right? That's all it was. And you threw a lot of money at him, too. Threw a lot of money at him. It's funny. So that's my spark today. Just a little bit of a rant, I guess. I don't know. Tomorrow, me and DJ will be back together for a great show. We'll always be better tomorrow. And as we always say, thanks for tuning in, and may the sports be with you.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.